All right. Okay,
There you go.
no,
No.
it's.
I'm surprised I don't know what.
Yeah, the Apple, I can help you.
City business. You did it.
Oh, there it goes again.
Jason,
IT support.
Did you hear?
That 5-star.
James, no.
No.
Hey, we got facing the camera.
Okay. Okay. So examples of travel would be, when we send an engineer or maybe, like one of our sewer workers to some kind of class to maintain their certifications. The police officers are another good example of where they have to have certain training every year to maintain certifications and the different things that they do. So we have a lot of people going out on training. Others, conferences for professional CPEs is another reason to go and travel. So it is recommended by the state auditor's office that we do have a policy in place because we want to control the cost of when our employees go out of town, right? We don't want anybody to go out and think they can go have steak and lobster and, you know, appetizers and beverages and everything else when they're traveling. So we follow a per diem process, and that's a daily allowance for meals, lodging, and incidentals. Now, we follow the federal General Service Administration rates, which are throughout the United States. So basically what an employee would do if they want to go on travel, they'll go onto that website and they'll type in their destination city, and it will tell them what they are allowed for their meals and incidentals for that location. And also they'll give them the lodging rate. And so the reason that they do that is that one area might be a lower cost than if you send somebody to a higher cost region, right? So it adjusts for whatever region they're traveling to. Generally, we want people to be at least 60 miles away from their duty station before we would allow for lodging. City administrator or the mayor, they do have some discretion in that. If we need somebody in Seattle at 7 a.m., it's gonna take them, 2 hours or whatever to get there. So that might be a case where we may allow them to stay the night before.
But at the Motel 6.
Depending on what, yeah,
by the airport.
we want them to be safe. So this policy also addresses what we can do for meals or refreshments, for retreats, for meetings, for a working lunch, for a professional organization lunch, and say, if we send somebody to the chamber lunch, can we pay for their meal, right? Special events come up. This also addresses modes of transportation and whether we are going to pay mileage or not. And our mileage rate is aligned with the federal government rate. So whatever their rate is what we pay. We do encourage employees whenever they can to take city vehicles. Obviously, we want them to use city vehicles, but if none are available and we have to send somebody out of town, we'll pay them mileage. Rarely do we send people out of state, once in a while, not very often, so there are those. But that's kind of the overall of this policy. It's just we budget for travel expenses, and then this policy helps us set guidelines for what those expenditures can be spent on.
What's the threshold for mileage or getting paid mileage?
Oh, gosh, I don't know what the current rate is. I think it's.
No, not the rate. I mean, the threshold. How far do you have to drive until you're paid mileage? Because here's my thing.
Well,
People drive from here to Seattle to work every day. So if once a year someone has to drive to Seattle for a conference, why the hell would we give them mileage to do it?
we don't have a threshold. So anytime an employee uses their own personal vehicle to travel for work, we're expected to pay
Everyone
mileage.
in the entire country travels to go to work every day.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I travel,
So
so to go to work.
But it's different, but if your job is asking you, if they're telling you, if the city were to tell you, you know, you have to go to Seattle, even though you may drive up there every day, but now you're going up there, I think that's what it's saying.
Yeah,
We're saying, no, we really want you to go up there, it's for city business, then we're gonna pay you. I mean, that's my.
ideally, they would use a city vehicle. But yeah,
On another note, I go to the chamber lunch every month and I
Mm-hmm.
have for years. So is that supposed to be a deductible expense for the city?
so if you're going there, if the city has asked you to go there to represent the city,
No, they didn't.
so,
Nobody has.
the full policy.
We're not going to, so.
Will be in the packet. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to contact me. Be happy to go over those with you. Like I said, we did review this in finance committee and discussed a few things there.
We want to make sure you guys are aware of things and we're not just saying yes to everything that comes across before us, so. That's why we requested it to be brought to a study session, so if there's any questions.
Yeah, it sounds like there's concern. Right?
Do you have any concerns?
Great question. Yes, I would like to read what all the stuff. I want to read all this.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It'll be sent
Yep.
to everybody for it. Yeah.
Agenda's going out shortly.
Any other questions for Stephanie right now? On that?
Standing.
Personnel policy updates. Let's do that.
Karen?
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Bye. Packets.
Paper.
Paper.
I know.
Use
Keep the
paper.
loggers in business.
That's right. You know.
Since it's been updated.
Did we budget for office paper?
We're gonna ask for a budget amendment.
I didn't bring you one here.
You didn't bring me one? Please, it's all right.
Do we have it memorized already?
Oh, yeah, every page.
Here. So we're putting this in our book, I guess.
My presentation is probably going to be a little lengthier. Because it's been 15 years since this has been updated, so. We have like a total of 26 updates. I'm gonna be brief on each one. You guys can read through them. And I didn't include the old present or the old personnel policy, but I will email that to you and it'll be in your packets. Along with all this information. So. Just going by each one chapter and section that I made changes in. The first 105B is and 20270 are title and position information updates. Because they're not the same as they were 15 years ago. So like the editors being called out. I didn't even do what I'm supposed to do.
It'd be lost without you, Jason.
I would have probably figured that out.
Almost 30 years.
I know, isn't that crazy? So, in 2.04030, it's, we added some information to clarify what incremental weather attendance meant for our employees. How they get paid, who's essential personnel. And there's been lots of questions about why should I come in, or, you know, what kind of leave can I use if I stay home? So it clarifies that. In 207-010, it changes a senior accounting in charge of financial payroll records to the finance department. Yeah. 302-030. It is establishing how people are looked at when they're hired as far as reference checks, and different positions require different state and federal laws of questions you can ask. So that was added in there. 403-010 is our payroll is paid on the 5th. In the past, if it was on a Saturday, it was paid on a Friday. If it was on a Sunday and holiday on a Monday, it was paid the following day. So it could be a couple days out prior to the 5th. So we changed if payroll lands on a Saturday, Sunday, or holiday, which is on a Monday, they would be paid on that prior Friday.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Spend money on the weekend.
That's what the employees would say. 603-040, it is for workers' compensation benefits. We would, as a city, pay medical benefits for 1 month. The laws have changed, and it's for up to 6 months when they're on illness that the medical will be paid. Let's see, the next one
Because it said it was.
went from 1 month to 6 months.
Is it 1 to up to 6 months, or is it just 1 to 6?
It's up to 6 months.
Okay. You know. Okay.
Yes, it went from 1 month
To 1
to 6
1
months. Let's see now, the next one. For a lot of these changes are with the CBAs to line up our verbiage from the CBAs to our personnel policy. Collective bargaining agreement for unions, excuse me. And for vacations, for accruals, we went from years of service to months of service because people were deciding whether the first of the year was their their year of service or the end of the year. So we make it by month. So if you've been employed 60 months and it's 5 years, it's at the end of 60 months instead of the beginning of 5 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a new one.
For 703-010, And the following one, 703-020, it is for temporary and seasonal employees. Didn't used to accrue sick leave, now they accrue 1 hour per 30 hours worked. And the second 020 talks about that they have to be employed for 90 days before they can use sick leave. So if they've accrued, like 10 hours or whatever, then they can use it. And it's similar to like our full-time employees, when they're first hired, they can't use their sick leave for 6 months till their probationary period ends. Mhm. And that's when everybody gets sick. When they first
Never
start.
heard of seasonal employees.
Let's. see. 7. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, okay. 703-030, it is just clarifying a lot of the language, what sick leave means. Legally, you have to add words like mental and health conditions, different things that were not, that people would ask to use it for, and maybe we didn't have it in our policies, so we didn't allow it. But because of changing times and state and federal laws, things like family members defined as something different than what we had it before. And does daycare closed or work closed constitute, sick leave, using sick leave and things like that, and domestic violence.
So could someone say, I'm taking a mental health day and I'm making use of sick leave?
Yeah.
But they don't. Okay.
709-010, we added Juneteenth as a holiday. And we used to call our leave days, personal leave days, floating holidays, but in all the CBAs or the collective bargaining agreements, we've identified them as personal leave days. So that was changed in it also.
How many days off? 36? 8 days off a year?
36.
Yeah,
What are you adding up?
sick, vacation and holidays.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
could be
36?
people accrue different values of vacation, so yeah, it could be quite a bit. I didn't do the math.
Oh, for a new employee will get 36. Someone's
8
been here
hours,
for a few years would get,
up to 16.6
More than that.
hours,
yeah,
7
okay.
a month. So you can collect quite a bit of vacation if you're, and that's, what it's intended for.
What time?
Keep along. Yeah. I think they have.
I need
sewer
some of
plant
those vacation
operator
days,
that's
yeah.
local. 7.09030 is we removed 8 hours, defining hours for holiday pay, because some people work 8 hours, some people work 9 hours, some people work 10 hours a day, so they're defined by their schedule. Two big ones that we added are 711 and 712, which are FMLA, state and federal law, and PFMLA, which is a state law.
You want to change on that?
This is my first rodeo. Then 8.0.030 is an addition of a dress code, and we hadn't had one, so we thought this was the time to add one, just to give our directors a little bit of guidance.
So what is the?
Want to borrow this?
I want to see example.
It's in your policy, so you can either do that. Cool. We removed the cellular phone usage because it was obsolete. And then we had an IT policy, very outdated. So IT put together a comprehensive city-owned technology resources acceptable use policy. And that is now 812, takes over the place of the cellular phone use. And then because of that change, we moved up violence in the workplace from 814 to 813. And 813.040 is our EAP, Employee Assistance Program, access code to how to get in to get resources for our employees. Todd, you might have to help me with this one. 8.13.060, we deleted, this statement from our,
It says abuse statement, what's abuse?
It's exceptions include employees of the city engaged in military or law enforcement activities of legally in possession of a firearm for which employee holds a valid permit. And the sentence that we removed is that is secured within a attended personal vehicle or concealed from view within a locked unattended personal vehicle while that person is working on city property. And is that because you can't have somebody that has a concealed weapons permit or is allowed to carry a permit or
No, I think we removed it because if it's locked up in your car, that isn't something we were concerned about, like
Okay.
that wasn't it wasn't up to us to know what you have sealed and concealed in your car. I think that's why we took it out.
okay. Thank you for that, Todd.
Why would we be prohibiting anyone from carrying one?
It's not,
It's not, we're just
it's not.
taking it out.
It's
It was
taking
in the
out,
past, now we're.
you have to lock in your car, they're taking that out. Right,
It was in the past.
If
James,
they're
now it's
only.
not.
Like you're removing the entire section?
No, only the one
Because then that-
sentence of,
Yeah, so then in order to ensure a safe environment for employees and customers, which we can debate this sentence. The city prohibits wearing, transporting, storage, or presence of firearms or other weapons as defined by RCW 941 whenever an employee is on city time. Including breaks and meal periods.
so legally in possession of firearm is an exemption.
so you can't, you're saying we can't open carry. And that's, we can't at
Right.
city facility,
You're saying can't open carry in the.
we can't.
Weapons.
It's a law,
But you
the
can,
RCW state.
but you can have concealed if you.
The
have-
RCW is. That's saying weapons as defined in it. That's not an RCW. There's no RCW that says you can't open and carry a firearm anywhere.
But they can carry concealed weapon.
Not in,
Not in the
So-
workplace. Even if they have.
Working. Officially work.
No,
That's what I
they
thought
know what
the
is
story.
So no fire, it's basically just, there's no firearms in
Right.
here, whether they're.
Are we technically employees?
Yeah, we are.
Cause I
Yes,
guarantee you,
we are.
I've broken that thing every time I walk in. this
Okay.
building.
It says they're legally in possession of a firearm, for which an employee holds a valid permit. That's your exception. So I mean, they can carry. Because the exception is if you're legally allowed to carry.
Honestly, that policy needs to go away.
We were talking about.
In my
the
opinion.
law enforcement piece.
No,
Oh, because there's.
Yeah.
No, it's or.
Yeah, okay.
It says military law enforcement or legally possession.
That policy needs to
Should
go
we
away.
agree to just have it maybe clarified?
We'll look at it.
Okay,
We'll get-
all right.
we'll dive into that.
Thank Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. No, I think it does need to be, it should be clarified so that we all get it.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
And the last one is additional text added to habitual absence or tardiness for any reason unless otherwise protected by state or federal law, and we're adding state or federal law. I'm sure you guys might have some questions.
You're doing great so far.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other questions? I mean, we'll get clarification on that. I understand, and I understand what he's saying, the way it's read. So,
Pretty clear to me.
yeah. Anybody else?
Thank you.
I was curious, actually, with the sick pay, did you take that text from the union contracts as well?
I don't know that it's been updated in the union. This was more state, federal than the union. Okay.
Karen, will you just talk about who we worked with on these policies? This wasn't just us. drafting these
Oh,
policies.
yeah, no, wait, we didn't, I just didn't go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. I know that was one of your
Sure, it's-
initiatives. when we
That's
got-
Rocky and
when
Olympia.
you came on.
Right, we worked with our attorney, we worked with an actual consultant that looked over our whole policy. And
That's Jockey and Olympia.
and she's in Idaho or something, no, but. Anyway, to recommend any things that we are lacking, and the things that we were lacking, like the FMLA and the PMLA. We already knew we had to put in there, but those were things that they called to our attention, so. Other than that, was just a lot of housekeeping too.
Since 92.
The other piece of this too that we're gonna do is we're gonna try to update this on a yearly basis. So once a year, we'll go through all the policy, anything that changed, things change constantly, it's very fluid. But what we want to do is every year, go through these policies, make necessary updates, bring it back to council once a year to update, add, delete, whatever they might be to stay more current, so we don't get a 20-year-old policy.
Right.
One of the reasons why the policy has been somewhat delayed is because we have 3 bargaining units in the city. Their contracts, their CBAs trump the city personnel policy. So that is what you go to first. So the personnel policy covers the areas that aren't covered by a CBA, or if it's covered in a CBA, then that is what the policy is for that department. So it really, it primarily applied to the non-represented for the most part, with the addition of some of the FMLA stuff that was in there as general, but we want to make sure that this is being updated yearly, so we don't get so far behind the 8 ball in these policies. So I just wanted to put that out there, that this will be something fluid that we do on a yearly basis, to keep updating.
Literally.
More current.
This,
Yeah.
this dress code is so ambiguous, you might as well not even have it in here. Personal hygiene and whatever.
You'd be surprised. I mean.
That'd be boring.
That's Terry. We forgive you.
I mean, it doesn't really say anything,
It just says brush your teeth, please.
Mhm.
but conservative values, I mean, and they're talking about hairstyles. I mean, look at that beautiful hair. Is that in the code? It's not in this code, but
It's
it's
not
nice.
conservative, I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying. It's just really ambiguous, so just saying. None of us probably meet the criteria.
Thank you.
All right, council retreat discussion.
Yeah, so I'm leading this one.
Sorry, Karen.
So it's up to y'all where you want, how long. The couple things I would ask is whether you want to figure out one day or overnight. If you want to do it during the day, or if you want to stay overnight, do a 2-day. When works the best for y'all, how soon and all that. Yeah.
Why?
Hawaii would be good.
Hawaii?
No, I said why? Why we having a council retreat?
What's the purpose of
What's
the
the purpose?
retreat?
Yeah,
I thought
Don't
it
you
was
remember how
beneficial.
purposeful it was last time?
yeah, but that was a new council. I think it's beneficial when it's like a mostly new, when you have a change, to get everybody on the same page, you know one another. But
It's up to
people are
council. If
working
you want to,
together, I kind of don't know.
if you
we
want to,
need it.
sure, if you want to do it
I
after
mean,
each
an
election every 2
extended,
years.
like, yeah, I think
That's
that's
prob-
good. But, I think it's good to do it when you have a big change up.
We have 2 new members since that meeting, or since that.
I mean, we have a lot
Yeah,
of
but
big,
we've been
I
working
would-
we have
together
a lot of big
I
topics
think
on the docket
to-
to talk about.
To
too.
be consistent. If you're gonna do it on a regular basis, do it after each election, which would be every 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just one.
I just
I mean,
want-
not just Ashley, but yeah.
For consistency, I would say do it every 2 years after the election.
Okay, is that what council wants?
No,
that's what I would say.
No?
say every year is
Except for
fine.
this time, can we like, instead of a retreat, we could just have like an extended lunch hour?
At least 60 miles away so we can pay for travel.
I just want my meal paid.
Do we got a new city vehicle?
Can I use Cody's Tesla?
I'm gonna call out any one of you that gets mileage for a damage.
I think the retreats are beneficial, honestly. Yeah, no, I think they're beneficial. And I'm for a retreat, but I understand every 2 years makes more sense. As far as getting new elected officials, that's the thing.
Do we have any
But-
big, oh, sorry, go
Well, I
ahead.
was gonna say, also, I mean, we've got a lot of things also going on this year. I think they're beneficial once a year because it gives an opportunity for a full day, not just an hour to
It's
2 hours. but
valuable
so
to do that.
there's, so every year, I mean, like, if we could plan it right after the legislature's done, because there's a lot of things that are going on in the legislature right now that will affect us. That we need to have that time to discuss the 5-10 years out, things that are going on, that 1 hour study session to 2 hours to 1 to 2 hour city council sessions, that's the only time we meet. I think it's once a year is good. Yes, the one after election to get everybody together and get to know each other, but also this is an opportunity to discuss big things and have not just a discussion limited
Yeah.
to 15 minutes. And so there's the importance of that retreat, is allows us to look at the topics that,
And to give some time to go into depth that we never
Right.
get to do.
Yeah, who's usually in attendance? It's us at this table and who else?
Once we,
We only did it
all-
once.
Yeah, we've only had, well.
All these
there's-
guys,
all the city-
We've only done one.
One,
And
and all these
depends,
years.
how you all want it to look like, what kind of presentations you want. Usually we have department head presentations. Yeah, just talk about city business, big items that
I,
we're,
I would have
discussing.
liked more time for us. I mean, I loved the presentations, but they took up the majority of the time. Like on our second day, other than the fun little thing that we did to get to know each other, we didn't really talk about any in-depth
Team building.
anything. So I would want more time for our group in addition to the other lovely people over there.
We can do that.
Or
with
not.
the lunch or
Maybe two
dinner.
different-
I was gonna
things.
say, what if, I don't think it needs to be an overnight, that's my thought, but.
It's for
so
bonding.
let's start off with this year. Are we gonna have one or not?
Yes, I vote yes.
Ollie?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Well, depends what we're talking about.
James?
I'm like, if we're, I'd say this is a get together for talk things out,
I'm talking
like a lunch
So
or
we'll have one
dinner.
now. It looks like there's a
So,
consensus to
imagine-
have one.
4 hours or whatever.
Josh doesn't have to come, it's fine.
even 4 hours. may not
Yeah,
be-
one thing we can do.
4 hours may
like
not
the
be
lunch
enough
or
with all the
dinner
stuff that's, like I say,
extended.
there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things.
There's housing issues that they may also choose on. We've got transportation issues that we need to really look at
Right.
because there's the, you know, which I'll bring up during council member initiatives details. So, you know, we got the I-5 bridge
Like
that
the
may get
local
shut down completely
restaurant
for,
here or something.
you know, or, you
Okay, we
know,
need
we've
4
got a lot of
hours
things to
to
cover.
hash
Again,
things out.
even just 4 hours may not even be enough time.
It may not be enough, but you know, people work and stuff. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
That's why having that Saturday, a full Saturday where we go out on Friday, get settled, and then a full Saturday of, you know,
This would be in
conversations.
April?
It can be whenever y'all want.
Oh, when was it last time?
About that, I think.
I'm pretty sure we decided we were going to Vegas.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I would do Vegas.
I'll go.
You gotta buy your own plane tickets.
About
but-
$50 to get over there or
I'm gonna
something.
drive and get my own.
I think we're.
You're not.
Consensus for a retreat.
All right, so we're doing a retreat Vegas, pick your own airway.
Why would we
Stephanie
increase the
Creek.
bonding time if we all
Yeah.
get there together?
What's the
And
per
like
diem
a
in
van.
Vegas?
It's the place that has the highest per diem. I want that one.
Yeah, so, all right, so now we're gonna have one. Do we want it Friday overnight, Saturday, work all day and then take off, or?
When's your anniversary? Don't schedule it then.
Oh, that's right.
It conflicted last.
It-
What kind of concept do you want it though? Do you want it an overnight or do you want it one day? We can do it all
Honestly,
day
I prefer
Saturday.
it how we did.
Yeah.
Overnight.
We're good cook.
Yeah, same menu, please. I know.
Okay, and overnight? Is that what I'm getting?
I think so. One overnight, yeah.
If it needs to be less, like, I said, less department heads and more.
Yeah,
This
more
one will
us.
be separate from the department head retreat. They won't be
Like for
combined.
department heads, we could do an afternoon and a lunch or something and
Or
just
maybe
hear
just a
everybody.
Zoom or
But just
something.
for us, we would want that as much time as we had last time.
Yeah, it wasn't enough time for us either
No,
to really get done what we needed to do, so we just felt that there's much more better use of time if we separated the two and we can still get you guys what you need to discuss or whatever you want from us. ahead of time, just having everybody there. It just
And you'll still cook though?
not the best use of time.
They don't want to hang out with us.
Huh?
So anyway, steering back to Friday night, then a Saturday. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that sounds like the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, is there any bad, or what month do you want to do this in then? Is the
If
next
we're doing
question.
it Saturday, I can't do it until May.
Okay. Is there any other concerns on dates, months?
No restrictions for me.
So after May
Or
or
it
later?
depends on lock it on.
Not Memorial Day.
That's when we're suggesting.
What about like in June?
Yeah, June works.
We could- Are we going back to the same place? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So we could
You
walk-
can't do the
we could
24th
work
of
the-
June.
Off the beach.
I
We can have Kathy send out some date or just some,
Okay, that would be good.
would shoot for May.
and then you guys just respond.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into June and beyond,
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
And
cool.
don't conflict with Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So Kathy's gonna
Agreed,
send
yeah.
some stuff out, so.
Yeah, all
Okay.
right,
Prioritize them.
you either got the first or the third weekend. in
Yeah.
May.
Okay,
Not the first weekend.
reader
Third weekend in
board.
May.
And come back from Milwaukee.
yeah, we'll send out calendar invites to,
Okay,
all right, what are some big topics though you all wanna, or do you wanna kind of do this through the, no, we can't do it through email.
We should talk about the 640,
yes.
That's in
Okay.
August.
That's true.
so we should
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about next steps and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That's fine. You legislative update?
Right, yeah,
What's
so,
going
so,
on?
you know, in particular, they changed the, housing,
I guess that's the thing. What we're gonna talk about. That's-
Density.
zoning, yeah, the zoning codes and make it where the state all of a sudden has, you know, zoning. Like, we need to be, a lot of those things we need to really.
Is that
look at.
passed by then though?
That'll be
Yeah.
passed by then. These-
Yep, well, probably, unless you go to special session, but
fine.
yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Anything else? Legislative update, 640 acres, project updates? What kind of projects we're doing, updates on that?
Activated alley thing,
Yep,
or
so,
the parking,
Yeah.
all those things.
so current projects and upcoming projects?
What are we
We
suggesting?
can also,
What we're gonna
Projects,
talk about
yeah.
during the retreat?
Yeah, major
Months
topics,
from now?
maybe
Yeah.
discuss the,
Okay.
transportation.
big items,
It's South City Works.
transportation.
Months from
Our
now.
transportation plan, give us an opportunity to.
That's
That's
Turtle.
a 5-year thing. Why not start getting some input
Yeah.
in on what we need to look at?
It's great.
All right, I think it gives us a good start. We can go.
Cody's not, he won't pass my sidewalk initiative.
All right, anything else on this topic?
I'd like to suggest the weekend of Cinco de Mayo.
No,
That's a Friday.
It's in Milwaukee.
yeah, I'm
Over
coming
the
back from
weekend.
Milwaukee, so.
I think we're pretty much down to third week in May.
Yeah.
And you can't do me, you said?
No, I can't do April.
Oh, okay.
And
That
until
works.
the end
Get
of
it, tick,
April.
yeah, there.
I facilitate a class Saturday mornings.
Oh, okay, anything else on council retreat discussion for now? Nope. Going. Okay, reader board discussion.
All right, we got a few different options. Jason's gonna present on a couple, some that the council asked. Promised that we would have that discussion, before we purchased it, or if council didn't want it, we wouldn't purchase it. So here it is. Couple options Jason came up with from IT, and yeah, take it away, Jason.
I don't have too much to show you guys, just one quick little rendering, but we basically have two proposals available to us right now. One of them is from the company that gave us the original sign. They're called National Sign Corp. They're from Seattle. There's another company in Cal we're in talks with, but they were way too long on getting us a foot back.
Can you zoom in on that a little, Jason?
What they want.
What is it?
Do you want me to get inside?
We just fill the report.
I don't even have the original link. Did you send it over to the? I'm in there. It's on your calendar. Okay.
So we see that total price that's what you're looking for.
Yep, 25 grand.
That doesn't-
At the same place it is now, the old city hall or somewhere else?
The old city hall.
Yeah, the old city hall. This is the same footprint and all that.
How much did this thing cost in the beginning?
as in like
The original.
way back,
Yeah.
way, so similar price.
Okay, and it's just broken. Is.
Yeah, it's completely dilapidated.
There's no
Why-
warranty on it or
There is no fixing
anything.
it, no.
Why don't we just go buy a couple 50-inch Samsungs?
Let him do his other options. This is one option to replace it.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
With this option here from National Sign Corp, like you guys see on the screen, it's about 25.4. It's they come in, they give us the bare minimum. It's exactly what we have now with an updated logo to match our current logo and the same exact reader board type layout, design and everything.
What kind of warranty or guarantee?
It would be less than 5 years usually. It's 5 or less years.
Okay.
The other proposal that we were working on is exactly what James was just alluding to there. We went and did some research. And this is my little rendering of what this would look like, but it's an 85-inch LCD TV, OLED. It goes into a outdoor rated shield that's vandal proof and is theft proof. That will allow us to remotely, have you guys seen the TVs out front here in the lobby, how when they show those different things throughout the city?
Yes.
So fully remote, our communications specialist could send out whatever messages we want to that screen with high fidelity. And it's between 7,000 and 10,000. The 7,000 number was my, if everything goes perfect plan, and 10,000 would be the conservative estimate that we probably will come under budget on. And those are the two options we kind of fleshed out for you
I'm
guys.
assuming the case is the majority of the price there.
Actually, the case is the majority of the price. It's like about $3,000 almost. The
Is there a
TV
good
itself is that's us doing the work ourselves and
Yeah, I would
it is
go
what it is.
No warranty.
a TV
There
at
is no
$4,000.
warranty. It's a 1-year warranty.
TV,
I know.
actually.
They're $1,500 at Costco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same TV we're basically looking at.
Yeah.
But you know, you add tax onto that 1,500, it's around $2,000.
So we're encouraging distracted driving to watch.
No, it's not. Even if we added tax on that, that's $1,650.
It's just everything.
Does this prove to like have the same sustainability as the other? I
No.
mean,
This is a, doing our own way of doing things, which we've done here a lot in the city, that we've done our own development plans. That where we don't go out to a professional team and get the professional warranties that come with that, but also significantly undercut the price. I mean, that's the giveaway, give and take you have there. However, the TVs come with a 1-year manufacturer warranty. If anything goes wrong on that TV, it's replaced. The TV is less than $2,000. Even if we consider the $20,000 to $25,000 original price tag, that's 7 or 8 TVs you could go through in the same time frame, where they're completely covered 1 year each.
As long as.
And it's not made up of
Size,
dots.
right?
They
Okay.
guarantee
They
that,
guarantee that we'll make them.
they guarantee that the mattress within a certain.
Ashley, have you figured in the labor costs for the second cheaper option?
Yeah, so up there on the screen, we calculate out the amount. It's part of the $7,000 price tag of how much labor will be included. So like the main thing up there is the hardware cost itself is only about $5,000. The $2,000 comes for unforeseen known items and you never know with a project like this. You have to put conservative numbers out because this is us as a city venturing out on a project where we might run into an unforeseen. So you want to always have a little bit of extra room to get extra materials if needed.
Who got this idea wrong?
Aaron and I came up with the same.
I'm freaking proud of you, brother.
and it's good to have those ideas. I was thinking, you know, when people do their own like remodel stuff at home. And then they like try to do their own tile work, and then they screw up and then they gotta call professionals. My only worry is sustainability. If you guys know what you're doing and you got the schooling to make it function, functionality is key. You get something put in place with taxpayers' money and it don't work, we're gonna look pretty stupid. At the same time, paying a lot more for the more expensive, but again, it has to be sustainable. It has to be something that's gonna last and work and function. So I love the idea of going out, trying to get a cut price, but then will it last? Will it work? How much maintenance is it gonna require? That's what I'm worried about is, because I always call professionals when I need stuff done. Go ahead.
So what I'm gonna say, this little TV shield right here,
Yeah,
the professionals are who made that.
Yeah.
And it's guaranteed that.
Right.
5 years.
that's cool.
And
Now, the TV. I've had the TV hanging on my wall for 7 years and it gets a lot of use. And it's still working. Oh, the biggest thing is keeping the water out of there, which that's what that case is for.
The elements, yeah.
And would
And
that be like-
even if every 2 years we have to replace a TV, we're going out longer than the $25,000. That's only guaranteed for 5.
Is that gonna be a brick encasing like that in the picture?
It's going to use the same monument that's been refurbished, so we're gonna go out there, pull all of the equipment off, pressure wash the crud out of it to make it look beautiful again. And install that new mounting case onto it. We will have to remove the City of Young piece that's there now up top, because this is a larger actual display than the original display that was on there. I would like to also add, in terms of what you're saying, Joe, in terms of the professionalism and stuff, right? We did test this before we came up with this idea. We have these screens already running in City Hall. The only difference is whether or not it's inside of this protective case. That is what we run. Again, we did all this work as well, right? So we are familiar with how to install and remotely manage these televisions and how to set them up and display this out to the public, right? We do it in our lobbies here and in the courtroom. So the real key was, is this case going to make that okay? And the case comes with a 5-year warranty for the case and a warranty for the items in the case if it's damaged because the case doesn't do its job.
And as long as that company's still in business.
It's in
Right.
Florida. We made sure to find a company that's stateside and not foreign. So it's in Florida. We have a way of contacting them if there's an issue. What's up, Ashley?
Hey, thanks.
Oh, sorry.
So 2 questions. First one, how long has the sign not been working?
That's a good question. I think it's close to a year now,
Okay,
between 8 months and a year.
okay. Have you considered looking at the cost of just getting rid of this?
It's
Completely.
no cost.
Yeah.
Just let it sit there.
I'm stating that because I don't see that spending the $20,000 makes sense for the taxpayers or business wise, especially because of the draw. I know we all want more outreach, but I don't know if that sign that's placed next to another sign is really gonna be the way to get more people in this building.
I don't think it's about getting people into this building.
What is it about
What's
to
the
you?
question? What's the purpose?
Well,
The-
Brian
and-
had his hand up, I'm sorry.
Well, two items on it. One is the TV, because that casing will protect it from supposedly from being shattered as well as from getting wet. The TV is going to be able to handle when we have our deep freeze and such. In other words, they're going to be just fine out in the element and all. So that'll work with the TVs. The other one is to go with hers is if the purposes of this is to inform of what's going on in the community. How many people drive from Redwind to here and can tell me what Southworth, Yelm High, Yelm Middle School, Tim's Pharmacy, and Chamber of Commerce, what are all those signs telling us at this time that is happening for the next 30 days?
I
Hey,
agree
I
with
saw
that
last
statement.
week that middle school has a reader board. Just last week I saw it.
So.
I didn't know they had one.
I mean, because I believe there's teachers conference
That
going on somewhere.
statement.
Tim's pharmacist said, if you're still reading this sign, come on in.
I
Right.
did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
No, I always read the check for the date and time
Yeah.
when I drive by. I'm trying to look at
The
my phone.
temperature.
Right.
the thing.
Temperatures.
Yeah.
So,
Signs right next to each other, like,
I
because I mean, if it's to inform the community of what's going on, I know last year I brought it up. And just to let you know, I kept getting feedback of nobody reads the mail. Nobody reads the mail when you put it inside the water bill. Lacey does it. Olympia, I think, also does it, and people do get informed about what's going on. I think our communications director, Ms. Roy, is doing a great job with Facebook and website, but not everybody is attached to the internet. And I think if we had a budget of $25,000, why can't we try for 1 year, putting out a simple little 1-sheet paper that tells what's going on to inform the community what's happening that they will read. And for those who don't get a paper bill, they can check the internet on what's going on. But we have a lot of people that, we don't, we need to find a better way to outreach.
Talking about city mail, send mail from the city?
We already send out the water bill.
I ain't gonna read no mail from the city.
Oh,
I
as I
always pay
said,
my water bill, because I want to.
but I'm saying that, there's other cities in our area that do this and.
What, somebody asked what, go ahead, yeah, that's another discussion, but somebody asked what the reason, what was the plan to put on? Like,
What goes on there?
what goes
What's
on?
the purpose?
What's the
So-
idea?
Or, although I wasn't tasked with
No,
this part of the
I-
research, I did, Aaron and I did research
Yeah.
two of those questions. We did research your question about, in terms of are signs like this outdated? And we also researched what would be put on the signs and how they are valued. So for example, how many people here are aware of the orchestra event have taken place in the community center? Where did you learn about it?
Facebook.
Here at the meeting.
So I learned about it by walking into work and seeing it on those TVs in the lobby. I had no idea it was taking place
Because
until I
you
seen
were
it.
here and so.
But if those signs were somewhere where I would have seen it in the public as a citizen.
How
of Sharon
many
Yelm, I
people
would-
in Yale drive by that spot right there? Anybody in this room drive by
I look at
there?
it all the time.
I don't.
There's probably at least 25,000.
I'm not a big tech and sign person, but
And then when
since we
the
have it there, and
roundabout
you guys are
goes,
also
how many?
discounting all the people that drive through
it's
Yelm
about
on their
50,
destination to Roy that don't live in Yelm. So they're gonna see, oh my God, the Home and Garden Show. I better put that on my
Because then
calendar.
they're gonna run into the person in front of them.
Well, and that's happened to my
But the
family
Home Garden
before.
Show is the chamber, it's not the Yelm. So that's
But it
already
doesn't-
on their reader
but-
board.
It could, but it could be on ours too. We should have everything. on
They
ours.
also have a banner, I'd rather have a
Okay.
banner than
Well,
the
you,
reader board.
well, you need to have it all. Just have
Static signs are a lot more effective.
When
than
there's
something that
events,
changes.
yeah.
More expensive.
Large,
but, yeah.
large ones.
Quite
You
more expensive,
reuse
but-
them,
Here's, I have one other question.
James.
they last a while. And the visibility.
I was just looking at my sign.
Lynn, how long do they, are they estimated to last?
Already
It's
approved.
pre-existing,
It's already approved.
it's a pre-existing sign, it's already
The
there.
existing, you can't change it to that with the sign code.
No,
For the
that's what I'm.
kids by the high
that,
school?
because
No.
that
If doing this is against what the sign code is right now,
Which
either
is-
A, we don't do it, or B, change the damn sign code, which is
Oh, that's
more
a
what
good
I prefer.
question. What is
That
the
is a
plan?
really good question. That's a good point.
I can
yeah.
tell you right now, sign code is against that. That's against the sign code
Why?
Okay,
Why?
because of the size and it's a completely new thing. It's not, you're not redoing what's there, just slapping a new logo on it, because I go, I went through all
then
this.
how about,
It's
And
we
other
finally-
businesses are.
how about we finally sit down and hammer out this damn sign code and fix it?
So what you're saying is really, before we even have more discussion on this, we need to find out if it's even feasible. I mean, permittable, thank you. Is that a fair statement? I mean, rather than sit here and waste everyone's
Yeah,
time.
no, true.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, well, first comes down to is you just have to approve read board altogether. That's first, and then second.
Because it's there.
It's not approved.
Pre-existing, but.
We
there
said
are
we
some
talked about it. If you want to
It's
do it,
grandfathered in.
No,
no.
No.
no,
Why?
because we're not special just because we're the city. If we have a code, no, we're not. That's the problem, is so many people that work in these,
So
what we do,
So
think they're above everyone
what
else.
makes it
We're not.
different? Just that it's a TV?
Existing
Versus
non-conforming,
digital.
replace it, that's what it is.
It's definitely has.
You can't change it.
Stephanie?
I did ask Cody
Oh,
today in our
okay.
management meeting if this would allow for our sign code, and he did say yes. Now,
Oh.
he didn't go into the reasons, he did, that's from Cody today.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm pretty sure our sign code is, definitely says no.
So who's on
Video.
the, are you in the,
It's not video.
That's why I asked.
who's in the, on the?
It's not
was it
classified
public
as
works?
video, they're individual images. It's just like a normal any other digital signage.
Feels like a weird-
Yes, it's a loop on
Yeah,
images,
okay.
just like.
All right, let's just get to the part where y'all want a sign or you don't. Then we can figure it out with other stuff.
Well,
It doesn't
it's
sound
not
like there's-
It's read board, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Reader board. If you want the reader board, we can have that conversation. If you don't, we don't need to deal with this.
Yeah, cause I mean, design everything you did, great. I totally believe it would work, it'd operate, it would function. I don't think it's, you don't get the ROI on it.
Well, who doesn't want?
All right, so it doesn't sound
Take a
like, James,
vote.
what do you
I'm a
think?
no.
Well, we're not voting. We're just talking about what Our
but
thoughts
just to
are,
see.
we don't
Yeah.
make decisions. James, what do you think?
I don't feel strongly either way.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a bad thing to have either. I like this version rather than $25,000 for some nonsense.
Brian?
Thank you.
I don't see a reason for the reader board at this time.
Okay, Ashley, say,
Same.
I actually think there is importance in the reader board. I think it does help promote and keep awareness for people. I actually read those kinds of things. If we're gonna go on one of them, if you know what you're doing, I'm down for this one. Because I think it actually has more capabilities than the 25,000. If you're running it, then it's gonna be better than what they're offering. Yeah.
what do you think, Terry?
As a tool for communication, I say keep it.
Holly?
I don't ever read them. I'm not a big fan of them.
Like I said, the only ones I
What do you
ever
do with
read
like
are the
other
static
people?
No,
ones.
and I understand that.
Because you get to see them. If you don't see it that one day, you may catch it a different day, like, oh, I missed that. Okay, what's going on? I see it now. But I don't know why that's gone by the wayside, because it's not cool, it's not fancy and lights and all this, but. When you have stuff scrolling, you can't catch it, because you don't have time.
No, you don't, but you
In
see what's up
traffic.
there at the time, though. If it's an Easter egg hunt or
Maybe.
whatever. But yeah, if it's,
Where
if
you
you're
have something
stuck in
that's solid
traffic.
there, okay, that one's there all day for
Yeah.
a week, then next week it changes, you have more
Oh,
of
you
a
can-
time.
I think it's useful. It doesn't sound like the council does, so let's move on.
Well,
We're
and
not
I-
gonna,
Well, it doesn't necessarily, because I would like to know honestly what the public thinks. So anybody listening, I would encourage you to write me or message me or any of us, because I would like to know, because if it's something that, because I like the cost, not the 25,000, the cost, but I do like. Jim
Yes,
said, I
good
think-
job on doing that.
I think it's I think that's a great way to do it. And if it's something that the, citizens think they would like, I mean, then I think
Yeah.
by all means. So, yeah, I'm not like hard and fast, no, just my personal thing is, hey. So,
Plus, we're also in a way using the money we already spent before to put the original foundation there,
Yeah.
so
I'm
you're
gonna
not
put
throwing
some-
that
Yeah.
25,000
Social
away.
media.
I'm gonna put
ask-
some on my social
Yep,
media.
see, and- So we're gonna put a kibosh on this for right now.
Yeah.
If there's big interest in it, we'll revive it and we'll move forward with it.
Okay,
It was put in 2007.
But meanwhile, it just looks like a broken thing,
yeah, sure.
so we should
Well,
decide.
put some
The
flowers.
chambers are
Yeah.
broken
The
too.
chamber one looks like a broken thing. That one's ugly.
All right,
Well, we don't
mayor's
need
report.
Broken thing.
I don't have anything much. I just have,
I don't go by the chamber.
just hearing, that maybe the JB Elm tour would be something that folks would be interested in. We've done it in the
Oh,
past.
yes.
A tour of Joint Base Fort Lewis, yep. Or Lewis McFort, I don't know. Anyway, so if there's interest in that, I'll go ahead and organize that and set that up. We got our liaison on
It's a nice
special
day
forces.
Summertime.
Is there interest?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
They cool,
Can we
does it
get-
include a helicopter?
No, I was gonna say,
Right.
can we get
Summer.
VIP tickets to the air show this year?
No,
VIP tickets.
no,
Yes, we did
Maybe.
before.
no.
We probably will.
I'm
Well,
such a no person. The
We're not
air
special.
show.
We don't need VIP
Kids,
tickets.
easy.
We'll go there, show, go to the damn air show.
Friends.
I don't have anything else, Holly.
But I mean,
Okay, thank you.
it's
All
another
right.
day trip.
Council member initiative, Joseph.
I've got nothing. I did see that there's that street sign put up that says Scottsburg Street and I'm excited, man. It's cool to see those things. But yeah, I know there's like a official date they're gonna do something, but
Where's
Wait.
Foxburg at?
where's that at?
I don't know what street it,
What are you
or
talking
it's on
about?
Stockbridge Street.
It's on
I don't know where, do you know, Todd?
What do you pose?
Scottsburg Street, the new street dedicated to the
Oh,
the teacher.
okay.
Mr. Scottsburg.
Okay.
But I saw that they're still working and that's in the working and that's.
Well, where did you
exciting.
see it at?
Cody sent me a picture of something, so I was like, that's cool.
Oh, you didn't see, you saw a picture
Saw
of
a
it,
picture.
that's not
Alright.
the same, I thought you actually drove by.
No. It just showed me that, hey, it's in the works. I'm like, yeah, right on.
Anything else?
No, that's.
Didn't see it.
Oh, senior breakfast this weekend, if you
Yes.
want. $8 buy-in,
Cash only.
cash only. Yeah.
Ashley, you have any initiatives?
Yeah. In regards to public safety, I am working with Red Cross and Matt Russell, who is taking a leave of absence right now, to do a larger fire safety event in the city of Yelm, and I'm hoping to have the city's cooperation in a small way.
Yeah, tell us, well, meet with us and we'll chat about it.
Okay, great. It would be mostly using the public works as a place to meet.
Yeah, let's schedule something with Todd and self.
Cody,
Yeah, Cody, we'll figure something out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's what I've got. I've got so much more, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Brian,
As stated earlier, following what's going on with the legislature, the fact that they're looking at doing the rezoning when it comes down to housing and getting it set up to where the count, if I remember correct, it's the counties will then start directing where housing's going. We need to be cognizant of that, make sure that we are aware of what gets passed, because that could affect us. Due to the fact that Lacey, Olympia, Tumwater don't really have a lot of open space to start housing development, but Yelm and South Thurston County does have still a lot of openings. We also need to keep an eye on the transportation side of what's going on. I think with the Regional Planning Commission, we need to really start working with the other mayors in the cities of Southern Thurston County of trying to really get more resources towards us in particular, because when I-5 starts getting that development going on and that the bridge over the Nisqually, 507 all of a sudden becomes the main hub of transportation, in particular for commercial. There's a lot of port-wise, there's warehousing and all down south that does its way up to Puyallup, and if they can't get over the bridge because it gets shut down or whatever, they're going to be coming through South Thurston County. So we really need to start looking at some of that. And other than that, hoping to get another meeting with the senior center to hopefully find out what their wish list is, so we can bring it here to the council and start seeing what we can do as a city to support and provide them assistance on getting it so that the senior center becomes more of a community for all within Yelm, people who've retired and have done their time. So that's all I've got right now.
Just ran into Cody today and he informed me that you guys saw that we got the email about the streetlight being out
Yeah,
on Main Street. Yeah, that's PSC.
that's easy.
PSC has to do it. We can't do it.
That's our response.
and it takes them along, the one on my street took almost 3 months for them to come out.
So, yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. So,
We are working on the downtown lights to replace those. And they're, that's in the works.
You said that would
Yeah,
be
it's
4
we had
months as well.
yeah.
You said it would be 4 months.
PSC to swap them out for LEDs.
I think most of them are.
Side note. Can you seen the weird blue purple one? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Mhm.
Have you driven up towards Renton or Bellevue at all? They've been changing all the lights over the freeway, which the first time I ever saw them was in Florida. But it's like these bluish purple LEDs.
Haven't seen it.
I've been trying to figure out why.
A lot of people change their headlights to be a different color, so there must be a purpose.
What are you, Paul?
Thank you, Joe. That was a nice segue.
You ever
I
go
don't have
Renton,
anything right now.
Bellevue,
Terry,
all that.
initiatives.
I just
North
wanted
side,
to,
167.
I think I got a message and we probably all did, that person that wants to run the museum. Did we answer that person?
Yep, we got a response.
You got a response, so you communicated, and you communicated with the bathroom guy?
Yep.
Okay, good. And
Bathroom.
then
Library.
I will be here next week, but I am going on vacation for 2 weeks. So I'll give Kathy the dates for your in advance permission to not be here. And the other thing I was gonna ask, and this is probably a Cody question, but as I was coming in today, we have so many places on our main street that pool with tons of water. Are the sewers blocked, like the drainage things blocked?
It was
Why?
really pretty hard today. I mean, sometimes they did,
It's just,
sometimes they just,
it's just the ground shape.
yeah, but
That water
There's
is,
nothing we
have
can do
nowhere to
for
go.
better drainage.
We could
No,
drill.
nothing.
not when it
Nothing
rains that
easy.
heavy, yeah.
Hmm.
When
I
it,
just
yeah,
wondered if there was road issues.
Because, yeah.
The one place that's
Clear.
old system.
the one area I think we need to at least start looking at and try to figure out is,
Clark Road by Walt. Clark Road is bad, yeah.
yeah,
And even by the old city hall there, it
Yeah.
it starts cooling a whole lot.
it pulls up, but I think the worst place
Is
is
that-
right there in
yes.
front of where the movie theater is at.
I think it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can start looking into that. Todd, I'm looking at you, making notes to build.
I expect you to dig up and fix it.
Thank you, chief. Chief administrator.
Anything else?
Cheap if it is.
All right, going.
All right.
Boom.